Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on data modernization journey, minimal risk, maximum benefits. I'm Ananya Sharma, your host for the day. Today, we will be covering a deeper understanding on data modernization, its challenges, why modernization is required, data modernization journey, and last but not the least, how entity data can help. I would like you to guide a bit about on the tools to ensure we have an interactive session and experience during the webinar. Through the discussion, if you want to say something or ask anything to the presenter, please click on the hand raise button. We'll attend to you. You can type down your question in the Q&A or chat section below, and that will be taken up at the scheduled Q&A pit stop. Now, I would like to introduce you to our subject matter expert for today. We have Mr. Oliver Cueto, BI developer, Business Enablement Group for Entity Data. Would request Mr. Oliver to please unmute himself and say a quick hello to the audience.
Hi, hello. This is Oliver.
So I will just start with a quick poll to understand that what data source they have. So this is the first poll which I'm launching, and I would encourage everyone, please confirm that what current platform for database you guys are using. I'm just launching it. Hope you are able to see it in your screen. Please confirm what data platform you're currently using. Is it SQL Server? Is it Oracle, MySQL, Postgre, or there is no SQL, MariaDB, or any other? Please confirm. Yeah, we have started getting the poll. So looking forward for more participation from the audience. Great. The poll is going to over in 15 seconds more. Yeah, great, great. Yeah, so I'm just ending the poll. So we have got 80% of people who are using SQL Server and following with Oracle. So now I will hand over this to Oliver. Oliver, over to you without any delay. Let's start. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay, good morning and welcome everyone. I hope everyone are all safe in your areas. First of all, thank you everyone for joining this webinar and hope that you would benefit from this presentation. Our objective is to help you simplify and accelerate your data and modernize your journey. And to start with, companies born into the digital world are on an accelerated path to mobility, cloud computing, and big data analytics. These companies are realizing the benefits of delivering a rich customer experience through innovation and agility. But the path to the digital world is not an easy one for the vast majority of enterprises that face the Herculean task of legacy modernization. Core legacy applications must be replaced with the cutting edge technologies and must be unlocked from the legacy databases and moved to modern databases where it can be leveraged efficiently and effectively. Despite the challenges they face with legacy modernization, enterprises in industries like banking and financial services, life sciences, retail and transport and logistics recognize the necessity of legacy modernization and data modernization in particular as a means of remaining viable in today's competitive market. A Keystone Research survey commissioned by Microsoft showed that organizations that harness the capabilities of cloud, data, and AI vastly outperform their peers in operating margin and income. They can accomplish this by investing in the modern data platform or migrating to the cloud. For example, customer can reduce 80% of administrative tasks, allowing the organization to focus on application innovation, not administrative tasks. The organization used to spend significant time on server patching, network setup, firewall configuration, and many other server-related tasks now included in the Azure PaaS. Thus, the modernization will be the key focus for this enterprise going forward. Hi, I am Oliver Cueto, BI developer for Business Enablement Group of NTT Data, working with solutions consulting and project delivery on Microsoft technologies, using Azure Data Factory for Azure Cloud Platform projects and SQL Server integration services for business intelligence projects. The objective for this webinar is to help you overcome legacy data challenges with innovative technologies and seamless data modernization. Realize the benefits of data modernization and leveraging the rich features Azure SQL database. Introduce you to the data modernization journey and help understand all elements of the transition. Discover how entity data can help you in your journey toward data modernization. To help you understand the data modernization, database technologies have so far explained several major generations. As figure shown illustrates the continuous development of the major database technologies and some representative database systems. The first generation occurred in the mid-1960s and early 1970s. It aims at providing a convenient and efficient way to store and access persistent data through developing general-purpose database management systems. The second generation occurred in the early 1970s. This model represents structured data. It allows people to solve various problems by means of logical and mathematical tools. Since then, structured query language has become the standard paradigmatic language of defining, manipulating, and querying data. Due to their ease of use, these systems have replaced hierarchical and network ones and have become dominant, now widely used as various business data processing applications. Since the early 2000s, the advances in web technology and social networking mobile devices and Internet of Things have resulted in the sudden explosion of the structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data generated by global scope applications. Such applications have a variety of requirements from the database systems, including horizontal scalability to linearly adapt to the massive amounts of data and the increasing rate of query processing by making use of additional resources. High availability and fault tolerance to respond to client requests even in the case of hardware-software failure or upgrade events, transaction reliability to support strongly consistent data, and database schema maintainability to reduce the cost of schema evolution. This has resulted to the fourth generation of database technologies and the new emerging trend of non-relational data stores called the NoSQL stores, which aim at satisfying the high availability and scalability requirements of global scope applications. So far, more than 200 different NoSQL stores have been reported, and the list is still growing. This is the big challenge for application designers and architects who want to migrate successfully from current enterprise data management system to large-scale ones. For years, enterprises have faced the rising costs associated with running and maintaining mainframe and legacy relationship databases. Many services are finding the legacy databases like IDBMS and IMS, have outlived their usefulness. These databases simply cannot meet the demands of mobile, cloud computing, big data, gamification, and social media. To take advantage of these technologies, enterprises must undergo data modernization projects, but simply, data modernization is the movement of data from legacy database to modern databases. An enterprise ability to compete with digital age rests in the business agility. Cloud, mobile, and big data analytics not only help enable agility, but also require agility. Big data analytics, for example, enables companies to make critical business decisions in real time. Enterprise need faster access to data, seamless integration services, and highly scalable, flexible, and low maintenance databases. Legacy databases just can't keep up. It is difficult and risky to make changes to monolithic legacy databases. Making a simple modification to support a business goal requires a lot of time and effort, which is ultimately impacts agility, delays time to market. Likewise, the cost of maintaining legacy databases is also driving data modernization efforts. Enterprise may run hundreds of applications and databases. The legacy databases software, licenses, and maintenance consume an increasing amount of time and money, with the resulting cost running into the millions of dollars. And it will only become costlier and as the databases themselves continue to age. In the meantime, it is becoming increasingly difficult to find IT professionals with the necessary skill sets to run and maintain legacy databases. Eventually, databases vendors stop supporting older versions of their databases, and enterprises running those systems have no choice but to upgrade to the latest releases if they wish to have continuous technical support. Such is the case of enterprises running in SQL Server 2008, which Microsoft will stop supporting later this year. Those enterprises face a data modernization project that entails moving their SQL Server databases to more current version for which support is available. Data models established several years ago include many constraints in terms of business logic. These data models do not easily support web, mobile, and big data. Similarly, critical business logic and data are locked in legacy and proprietary database platforms, making them difficult to access and use in new ways, such as application development in mobile platforms. Finally, changes in the regulatory compliance requirements are driving the need for data modernization as well. Requirements for data retention vary from 5 to 30 years depending on the nature of the data and the regulation. Quick and complete access to records going back to as much as 10 to 15 years is often required. Inaccessible data in formats that do not allow robust querying can lead to loss of revenue, fines for non-compliance. While there is a plenty driving that need for data modernization, there are also challenges that may cause enterprises to delay the data modernization project. These challenges can be categorized as either in-flight, which is the during data modernization process, or the post-data modernization. The in-flight. In-flight data modernization challenges begin with the lack of documentation for business rules and incremental changes made in legacy code. Without documentation, automation tools to extract the business rules from legacy code, there is the risk that some of the business rules will be missing. Most enterprises also lack the tools, strategies, and methodologies necessary for successful data modernization project. In fact, Most data modernization projects fail due to lack of standard methodologies, frameworks, templates, and guidelines. Enterprises need an appropriate questionnaire and templates to arrive at the best decision for data modernization. They must select the appropriate data modernization tools and replacement databases, both of which can be challenging. And of course, enterprises must have the skills for data conversion and data migration. As a result, organization face a steep learning curve for mission critical project. And for the post data modernization challenges pertain to business implication of moving from one system to another. Most organizations have been running legacy databases for 2 to 3 decades and cannot afford to modernize all their data at once. These organizations must undergo a phased approach to data modernization. However, these too introduces technical challenges. Data redundancy, data duplication, data merge, and data integration are issues must all be addressed. Other challenges include overlapping functionality and the need for temporary system to bridge the gap between the legacy and the new systems for the intermediate phases. It is also important that care is taken to prevent business disruption during the data modernization project. To proper strategy, planning and are required to introduce that business continues. As usual during every phase of the project, staging and production releases and along with the pilot releases must be meticulously planned. The cost incurred with the data modernization can also pose a challenge to some enterprises. For example, business users must be trained on the new systems and application impact by the data modernization. Training should not be avoided as a way to reduce expenses. It is necessary to ensure the adoption of the application and the system and to ensure that users can properly use the manage the new database tools and applications. In addition, enterprises will incur costs associated with information challenges related to the change of management program. Now let's move and talk about the benefits. Enterprises that successfully address the challenges of data modernization project are poised to take advantage of a new number of benefits. The primary one being in the ability to bring in more stable, scalable, and flexible databases, moving to more robust RDBMS, NoSQL, and Hadoop-based platforms enables the agility. For example, changes can be quickly made to support business goals. The organization can also define a data strategy that aligns business and technology goals for social media, gamification, big data, and mobile efforts. Enterprises also benefit from increased productivity and reduced maintenance cost. Most of the newer databases have GUI tools that help facilitate databases administration, performance monitoring, and others. Newer databases are also easier to run and ad hoc reporting and intuitive functionality. Now for the methods. There is no one for all approach for data modernization. However, there are three general approaches enterprises take depending on their business goals. These are the data migration, the data conversion, and the data upgrade. For the data migration, this involves moving data to a different vendor. Source and target schemas remain the same. Involves migrating code. Usually, no major changes to the application. Automation tools can be used to complete migration. For example, moving, moving out of Sybase to save on licensing cost. For the conversion, source and target schema are different. Involves transformation during migration, typical during application reengineering and legacy application modernization. ETL tools are also available, but process is manual. Moving from legacy databases is one example, like from ISAM, VSAM, and IMS or IDBMS to RDBMS. And for the database upgrade, this involves upgrading to a newer version. No transformation is required. Deprecated code is replaced. Automation tools can be used to complete upgrade. One example is upgrading from SQL Server 2005 or 2008 to SQL Server 2015, 2018, 2019, or Oracle Database 12C, 18C, or 19C. Now for the scenarios. There are two scenarios where you can modernize your data, the on-premise or to the cloud. And before we continue, we would like to collect or introduce some polls to gather data who else are having the SQL. I believe there are more SQL Server users right now. So we have poll for the SQL Server versions.
Um, Oliver, would you like to take the poll right now? Because we have a good audience right now, so good number of audience. So think that poll will help here to understand the data source.
Okay, so we're going to repeat the first poll.
Right, right.
Okay. I'll be resharing the
I'm
relaunching
just
the.
launching it. I'm just
Okay,
launching
okay,
it.
okay.
Okay. So hello everyone. I am just relaunching a poll which will give us the picture of the database platform which you are currently using. So just select the correct option which you have. Yes, we have started getting the poll. Please select the respective options. Would encourage everyone to please use the poll option. We have what kind of data source you are using. One is SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, Postgre, NoSQL, MariaDB, or others. I'm just ending the polling. Okay, so now we have 75% of people who are using SQL Server and 25% of the audience is using others. So yeah, Oliver, over to you now.
Let's share the next poll, which is the SQL Server version, since there are most of the attendees are using the SQL Server.
Okay, sure. So just confirm me, everyone, that what kind of SQL Server version you are currently using.
Oh,
Participate, people. Um, this will give us a very good idea on which SQL Server license you are into or you would like to prefer.
okay.
I think we got a idea on what SQL Server they are
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I
I'm
think
just
it's we can continue now.
sure, sure.
Okay.
So it is SQL Server 2012, which is the most.
So as I mentioned, there are two scenarios where you can modernize your data. You can still modernize still on premise and also to the cloud. In this scenario, source data is available in RDBMS. It is moved to newer target RDMS as well, which may belong to different vendor. If the source and target schema structures differ, then data cleansing and transformation are required. Their engineering system is operational only after the data is transformed. Regardless of whether you prefer the open source, NoSQL, SQL, Azure has an equivalent cloud-based offering. For example, if you work a lot for with non-on-premise and open source databases, including the PostgreSQL, MySQL, or MariaDB, you can easily move them to the cloud in our fully managed PaaS services for these databases. Or if you work a lot with SQL, there are managed instance offering. You can lift and shift these SQL databases to the cloud with a little to no code change, which is frictionless migration path. For SQL Server to SQL Server Azure, data upgrade and data migration. Oracle to SQL Server Azure, data migration and conversion. And for legacy databases to SQL Server Azure, data migration and conversion will be involved. Since from the recent poll, most of the attendees are using the SQL Server, Oracle, and now why we modernize. Microsoft analyzes 6.5 trillion threat signals every day. Analyze daily 3,500 security experts. Azure has an innovative destination that can help you modernize your apps. Azure SQL DB provides most comprehensive forward and backward compatibility. SQL Infra Evergreen by Azure supports SQL 2005 onwards, for example, and once in Azure, we keep your SQL Infra evergreen by patching and updating it on your behalf. Azure Application Service is the most productive and managed service platform for your .NET applications. Azure is the best plan to run your SQL, your Windows, and SQL. AWS is 5 times expensive. Windows Admin Center with 2.5 million plus Windows Server nodes that are hybrid enabled with Azure. And hybrid to us doesn't just mean run in your data center or in Azure. With the recent announcement of Azure Arc, we're bringing Azure everywhere. You can now Now run services like Azure SQL DB in private cloud or in public cloud of your choice. Now let's talk about the journey. Because this is the on-premise world, we are still responsible for taking care of all the tasks in blue. The patching, the data center management. You are responsible also for the hardware, making backups, and others. All of this needs to be done manually, which is the laborious process, and there's cost and risk involved in doing it by yourself. In addition to the hardware and data center cost, the total cost operation includes the cost of hiring, training, and maintaining sufficient staff to cover this function. With the infrastructure as a service, which is the second deployment option in the cloud, some of that pain goes away. We take all those hardware and data center management by the Azure, but the rest, we will still need to take care of all the tasks in the dark blue. In the final option, the platform as a service, moving a fully managed PaaS service gives you the best value. Since we execute all the fundamental tasks, including the patching, DR, you are only responsible for the apps that you build on top of that. So this approach significantly lowers your upfront cost in purchasing hardware, not to mention the cost involved in hiring and training staff to manually manage all these tasks. And you can scale up and scale down your usage as needed with a single click. For customers who experience the end of support for SQL Server 2008 R2, you will have three options to upgrade to the latest version of software to help reduce security risks and continue to get the regular security updates. These are the Migrate to Azure SQL VM, which is as is. Take advantage of the free extended security updates or upgrade to SQL Server 2009. These are the IaaS option. Migrate to Azure SQL Single Database. This is the PaaS option. And another PaaS is the Migrate to SQL Managed Instance, the PaaS option, or stay on-premise. This is the most straightforward way of moving your on-premise SQL Server workload to the cloud. It's the best way to lift and shift migration, especially for applications that require particular access and elevated permissions at the OS level. There are some legacy applications that require certain software to be installed together with the SQL Server instance. You might also want to just quickly migrate your application to the cloud without any changes. This might be due to cost, personnel, data center issues, or as part of the digital transformation goals. Migrating to SQL Server on-premise to SQL Azure VM gives you the flexibility and benefit of giving your infrastructure in the cloud. Provisioning servers is faster, and scaling up and down hardware resources is also faster. Azure SQL Database is a platform as a service. If you are developing a new application that you want to be cloud native or have an on-premise application that you want to modernize, Azure SQL Database should be the database of your choice. Azure SQL Database lets you focus on what you do best, which is your application, and leaves the database maintenance, all the tasks to Azure. It's fully managed by Azure, which means backups, upgrading, high availability data disaster recovery, and monitoring is handled by Azure with minimal or no user involvement. Azure SQL Database is highly available, promises with an SLA of 99.99% availability and boast of number of tuning security features. When Azure SQL came out, the barrier of entry was the amount of refactoring and re-architecting and or rebuilding required to existing application when you want to move them to the cloud. If you are using SQL Server on-premise, especially for complex application, you are bound to use some, if not all, of the server level features of the SQL Server. Chief among them is the SQL Server jobs, among other things. This made platform as a service, a poor option of many existing applications. Now for the managed instance. Managed instance changed all those limitations. Managed instance allows you to stand up a SQL instance in Azure. Managed instance gives you the broadest compatibility to an on-premise SQL Server with all the benefits of a fully managed platform as a service. You have access to all the great features of Azure SQL database such as automated backups, patching updates, ease of scaling, as well as intelligent and security features on the Azure SQL. Managed instance also allows you to put all your managed instance on private VNet instead of public endpoints. This addresses a common security issue. Because you have an instance, you also have access to the server level objects like link server, server jobs, logins, and others. Made it easier to lift and shift existing application to Azure. That is the managed instance. After verifying that your choice of source environment is supported and ensuring that you have addressed the prerequisites, you are ready to start the pre-migration stage. This part of the process involves conducting an inventory of the database that you need to migrate, assessing those databases for potential migration issues or blockers, and then resolving any items you might have uncovered. For heterogeneous migration, such as Oracle to Azure database for PostgreSQL, this stage also involves converting the schema in the source database to be compatible with the target environment. For homogeneous migrations, such as SQL Server to an Azure SQL database managed instance, conversion of source schema to work on target environment is not required. After you have necessary prerequisites in place and have completed the task associated with the pre-migration stage, you are now ready to perform the schema data migration. And after you have successfully completed the migration stage, you need to go through the series of post-migration tasks to ensure that everything is functioning as smoothly as efficiently as possible. Now to aid your migration, we can use multiple tools to help you move your data to the cloud. The Azure Migrate, which is do the server assessment. This assesses servers, assesses on-premises VMwares, Hyper-V, and physical servers in preparation for the migration to Azure. Azure Migrate also do the server migration, including the VMware, Hyper-V, physical servers, and virtualized machine to public cloud VMs and Azure. Next is the Azure Database Migration Service. These migrate on-premises databases to Azure VMs running on SQL Server, Azure SQL Database, or Azure Managed Instance. And then the third tool, the Data Migration Assistant. This assesses the SQL Server databases for migration to Azure SQL Database and Managed Instance and VMs running in SQL Server. Data Migration Assistant helps pinpoint the potential problems blocking migration. It identifies unsupported features, new features that can be benefit for your migration. You can download and install to your server to help assess and migrate your SQL Server to Azure SQL. It also has a tool to assess your load and make recommendation on what type of pricing tier your load is most appropriate for. It can also assess and migrate SSIS to Azure SQL Managed Instance. For migration, you can opt to migrate just the schema or both schema and data. The Data Migration Assistant is the best for assessing your databases and offline migration. For large and multiple databases, it is better to use the Data Migration Service, then send it to Azure. This makes it easier and faster to copy to other Azure resources such as Blob Storage or VM. From there, it can be consumed by your Azure VM and SQL Managed Instance. Now, before we proceed, we have another poll to present, the poll for the Azure implementations.
So you want to go ahead with the third poll?
Yes, the poll number 3, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. So I'm just launching the poll for third, which is related to the platform, which is deployed. So I'm just launching and request all the attendees to participate here. The poll question is available on your screen. Please confirm what is the currently deployed cloud platform, partial or pilot system you have. Okay, we are getting the responses. Yes. People are waiting. People are generally participating. So, Oliver, really, we have got the good audience. I think they are
Yes.
participating a lot, right?
So we have
So, 50% of Azure and 25% right now of AWS and 25% is other cloud platform, which we have count till now. I would request
yes.
everyone rest. Only 15 seconds are left. I would request everyone please, participate so that we can get the votings. Thank you. I'm just ending the poll now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we continue.
Yes.
Now, how entity data can help? Regardless of whether you prefer open source, NoSQL, SQL, if you work a lot with on-premise open source databases including PostgreSQL, MySQL, and MariaDB, you can easily move them to the cloud in our fully managed PaaS services for these databases. Entity Data Platform Modernization Service guides you through the life cycle of modernizing your entire data estate to the cloud. As a premier system integrator, we know both your source and target system inside out. Our team has met rigorous certification and deep expertise on multiple capabilities and heterogeneous platform delivering IT in the most cost-effective manner while mitigating technology and business risk. This is our high-level approach. They assess to identify existing data state, automated database assessment, business case building, and migrate, designer architecture, migration and rollback strategy, migrate on-premises databases and workloads to SQL distribution of choice in Azure, and performance optimization. Manage, plan for advanced workloads in machine learning, analytics, Internet of Things, roadmap, planning and creation, premium DBA 911 managed support service, and proactive and reactive monitoring. And lastly, to innovate, plan for advanced workloads in machine learning, analytics, Internet of Things, roadmap planning, and creation. Now, please allow us to introduce to you who is Entity Data. We are the top 10, one of the top 10 global business and IT services provider with 10 billion US dollar in total revenue, 130,000 employees worldwide, global presence in 50 countries and regions, and 8 most valuable brand and recognized as one of the fastest growing brand. With the source of company overview, Entity Data's corporate overview presentation. Entity Data value proposition to the market. Global presence with local touch of 88 countries, network coverage, 196 countries, subsidiary companies, and 944 worldwide. Scale and research, 275 resources. Leverage on cutting edge research and development capabilities like AI, blockchain, through 2 billion R&D investment and 6,000 R&D personnel. With financial stability of 105 billion US dollar revenue and 14 billion US dollar income. Deep expertise on multiple capabilities and heterogeneous platform Microsoft, SAP, Oracle, enabling delivering IT in the most cost-effective manner and mitigating technology and business risk. Entity data value proposition to Microsoft. Define program and investment to grow the Microsoft business in APAC, especially in Philippines. Executive commitment to develop Microsoft as major revenue growth pillar for entity data and scale and research. The only partner that has strong multi-competency across platform in the area of ERP, data platform, productivity, application development, and infrastructure. Strong base for entity data customers across PH and APAC. Increased footprint of Microsoft technology in the account through portfolio approach to IT rather than piecemeal approach. Leading the edge of solutions to R&D in Japan and COEs across the globe. Once again, we would like to thank you for joining this webinar.
Oliver, just a quick question we have received that how, as an open source, if anybody is having an open source database, moving to SQL will help them. Like, for example, if they have Postgre or if they have something related to Oracle
If they have
platforms.
Postgre MariaDB, there's a direct counterpart in Microsoft in Azure, the Azure Postgre. There's a special database format for Postgre, which is the same Postgre database platform, just in Azure.
Okay.
Azure has supported PostgreSQL and MySQL and MariaDB.
But that
If
will be deployed in Azure. That's it, right?
yes, they
Okay.
can directly. It is an easy path to migrate those open source. But if they have, I believe there's a poll that there's other platform uh, using
Right.
least way possible for migrating those non other platform other than the mentioned open sources is extracting those data to flat file, and entity data will do the job for migrating everything, the schema and the data from flat file to Azure.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so I will encourage everyone to please put in their questions so that can be answered now. And looking forward for the questions from the attendees. So let me launch a new poll just to understand that whether they wanted to take the data modernization in next 4 to 6 months or not. So I'm just launching the poll.
Yes, we can post that poll.
Yes, I have just posted it. I would request everyone to participate if they are looking forward for data modernization in next 4 to 6 months. Okay, we are getting the responses. The percentage is increasing, fluctuating. Participate, people. We have 30 seconds more to go. We have received 67% as yes, which is a good number, Oliver. Let me tell you that. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
that's a good number.
yeah, it's a good number, right? So, 10 seconds more. Nine, eight. Okay. So, I'm just ending the polling. Yeah. So, we have confirmed result of 67% who are looking forward for data modernization in next 4 to 6 months. Thank you, Oliver, for an informative and interesting session today. And I think this has benefited the audience
You're welcome.
also. Right. Now the floor is open for Q&A. I don't see any question as of now. There was only one question which was asked. So I would encourage the audience, please put up your questions so that can be answered right now. You have Q&A button at the bottom. Even the chat button is available. So you can use any one of them. Any questions? I think, Oliver, we should wrap up, or shall we wait for 5 minutes more?
I guess maybe although the attendees can send questions through emails since we have posted our
Yeah, yeah. So I was thinking that if you can put your
contacts.
email, uh,
Okay.
if you can I share your email ID on the chat window
Sure,
with them,
sure. Yep, sure.
if it's okay? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just adding Oliver's ID to all the attendees. Whosoever is looking for any question or any thing you want to ask, then you can, put the question there. So once again, thank you. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. You have participated a lot and hope this session has benefited you somewhere. Take care, stay safe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Oliver, for making this session so wonderful and useful.